In today's video, we are doing a full review of Journeyman by Amouage. So I purchased a whole array of samples from Amouage a few months ago. I've had them quite a while actually, and going through slowly through the ones that I purchased. I got a mixture of the men's collection and the women's collection. But yeah, this one is Journeyman, and we will start off, I guess, with the official note breakdown for this one. The notes listed for this include pepper and cardamom with a bergamot top note, neroli, tobacco, incense, juniper and leather, cypriol, tonka and musk. So I'm going to reapply just on a test strip. I did test it on my skin, I'd like to point that out, but for the videos I usually just like to spray on a test strip, just to kind of familiarise myself again with the initial top notes. This one, I'll be honest, is not my personal taste, but I think it would suit an older man. An older man. It's more gentleman-y, it's more classical in style. But this one is not my taste personally. You do get an opening of spice. It's fresh, and you definitely get a mix of that kind of pepper and cardamom. So you get this kind of fresh, again, aromatic, masculine smelling spice. It is also immediately kind of resinous and green. I think the juniper comes through. Again, you get this kind of spicy kind of green quality in this. It smells quite masculine, and again, old school, classical style, a little bit more mature. I wouldn't feel like I could pull this off personally. I feel that it wouldn't suit me. I think you get a whole kind of mixture of notes in here. The neroli, I think, gives a hint of something a little bit fresh and clean. The spices obviously give it this kind of aromatic masculine feel. It's kind of green. I think the juniper comes in and gives you that. I do think you get a little bit of tobacco and leather as well. The leather feels like a very smooth brown leather. It's not animalic or dirty, but it's just very smooth. The tobacco is almost like a spiced tobacco, with just a hint of a sweetness. Very masculine, very strong. I do think the note listing is actually very transparent and quite accurate, as in you can kind of pick out all of this in the fragrance. The bergamot is not huge, but I do think you get a little bit of a slight fruitier citrus quality in the initial stages. But yeah, I mean, I can look at this note list and I think you can pretty much get all of that. Cypriol, again, adding this kind of woody, kind of deeper woody green kind of quality to it, along with the juniper. It's all playing a part. I think as it dries down, it's going to focus more on tobacco and leather. And yeah, and that's kind of how it tails out in the dry down. More kind of woody, leathery. There's also not a whole lot of change apart from, like I say, becoming a little bit more focused on leather and tobacco as it dries down, and drying down really into this kind of almost smooth, musky, leathery kind of quality on your skin. I can appreciate it, it's just not my personal taste, and again I think it would suit a slightly older man. In terms of performance for this one, I would say the projection and sillage is quite good within the first hour or so. I think better if you apply it on your clothing a little bit. And I would cap the longevity around 7 hours on my skin personally. It's not the longest lasting from Amouage line, but 7 hours is, most people's, is a good portion of the day, so to speak. So I think most people would be happy with 7 hours. You might get a little bit longer. I would describe it as a colder weather fragrance, autumn, winter appropriate. Daytime or nighttime, to me, it does smell a little bit more dressed up, relatively versatile. It's not something that I would want to smell close up in an office, for example. If I was working in an office with a bunch of people, I wouldn't want it to have this around me, so to speak. So I wouldn't say it's work appropriate particularly. You could easily pull it off in a more kind of formal occasion, going out somewhere nice, to a nice restaurant or something. A little bit of this would be good. Or even if you were going like to a wedding, for example, and you were wearing a nice suit, this would be perfectly good. But again, for me, a little bit more older for the person, maybe, you know, 40, 45 plus. Yeah, I can't really see teenagers pulling this off very well, or early 20s. I don't think it really fits the vibe of, you know, a younger man. I think this is more mature, strongly masculine. If you're very a masculine dude, and you're outside a lot chopping logs for your wood burning stove fire, and you're, you know, hands on, and you can build houses with your bare hands and wrestle bears, then you could pull this off, no problem. That's the best way to describe it. It's actually quite simple to describe. It's fresh, it's spicy, it's woody, it's leathery, it's masculine, it's a little bit I don't want to say old-fashioned, because it doesn't smell like it's outdated, but it's classical, if that makes sense. It's classic, but it's still wearable today, even though it smells classic. A good, strong, masculine fragrance. It's just not one that I would wear myself personally. It's just not my kind of taste. That's it. That's the best way I can describe it. If you like this one, or you own a bottle, and feel free to share your experiences with it. I will see you soon with some more reviews. I have plenty from the Amouage line to get through eventually. So yeah, I'll see you again. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.
Old man Harlem gives me Sunday headache, but that old